Alright tubers, I got another video for you. Let's back up a little bit. This is my basement. And that's my furnace. The other day I woke up, it was cold in the house. And like anybody, I thought, well, this is going to be expensive. So I got to look in this furnace. You can't even hardly see it back there. The furnace is fairly new. I mean, it's, I don't know, 10 years old or something. So I thought for sure, boy, this is really going to be bad. Think about how much it costs to replace a furnace or whatever. And I thought, well, maybe it's just the igniter. Sometimes the igniters fail, and they all have electronic igniters now. They don't have pilot lights. So I thought, well, I'll just check and see. So I turned the furnace on upstairs, and I came down here. And it started up, and the igniter came on, and the burner got lit, and then it shut right back off. I thought, well, that ain't gonna work. So, as you guys have been following this channel, and by the way, thanks for all the subscriptions. I had no idea that I was building a channel here. I thought I was just trying to document stuff for myself. But anyway, so I went over here on the other side, and over there is the fuse box, or circuit breaker box. So I popped the circuit breaker on this circuit, as it's what we do in jet airplanes all night long. Half the times when I fix an Airbus or an Embraer or even the newer Boeings, it's just a matter of cutting the power off, letting the airplane sit, and repowering the airplane in a specific order, and then the airplane will magically heal itself. Anyway, so I turned the power back on. Now the faults have cleared, and I fired the furnace back up. And this duct closest to me here is the return duct. And this duct over here is above the furnace, right? Here's your furnace down here, right? So the temperature in the end duct, of course, the ambient temperature. Within just a few seconds, I mean 30 seconds, this duct was so hot you couldn't even touch it. Rule of thumb, if you can no longer hold your hand on it, it's above 160, 170 degrees, something like that. That's too hot. That's way too hot. I thought, well, that ain't right. And about that time, the computer inside the furnace there, it said it was too hot. It got the fire off to it, and then it cooled down, it shut off, and it wouldn't restart again. I got to thinking about it, I was thinking, boy, what's the difference here? I got cold air coming in here, and all it does is go through that stupid filter down there, and then into the furnace, and then up from the furnace and out of the house, right? It can't be that tough. So anyway, so I pulled the filter out. Now, this is not the original filter, but this is the same. It happened just today. So, same thing. So I get to looking. This filter's failed. It's completely clogged up. That's what it's supposed to look like. It's what it looks like on both sides when you first install it. And look here. It's completely loaded up. There's no way this thing can pass air. At least not enough. So anyway, so the air stops here. Now there's a great reduction in airflow. The furnace is too stupid to figure out you should cut back on the fire. The amount of fuel that's being burnt is consistent. It's constant, so it doesn't know. So the outlet air temperature would climb until it finally tripped it off or overheat. And it did it again this morning. Now I just put this filter in here. It couldn't be 2 months ago. I was going to make a video then, I didn't do it, so now I did it today. It's quiet, kids at school, so I just want you guys to know, if your furnace doesn't work, you don't have any idea why, maybe the first thing you need to do is change your filter, and then turn the breaker off to the furnace, let it sit for 30 seconds, close the breaker, and let it start back up and see how it runs. I don't know, try that. A filter costs 15 bucks. The service call costs 100 bucks. A new furnace costs, I don't know, 1,600, 1,800, 2,000 bucks. So it's worth trying. I can't believe I just put that. These filters don't last very long. I mean, obviously they're working good, but I've noticed that this house. We've just moved into this house a year ago. I noticed that this house is dusty. It is just dusty. That's what it is. Dust builds up inside the house. Dust builds up on everything in here. So yeah, that's my wall of shame there. But the So we're just going to have to suck it up and just change filters more often. I'm not kidding you. You got to change filters every 60 days in here. And in the summertime, it's not such a big deal because they're putting cooling air into it, and there's no safety for low airflow for cooling, so that's not going to be a problem. But boy, I'll tell you what, it's amazing. Woke up this morning, the thermostat was calling for 70 degrees, and it was 60 degrees in the house, which is fine, but it's not what it's supposed to do. Anyway, so I don't know what I'm going to title this. Don't change that furnace. I don't know. Or check this before you change the furnace. I don't know. Anyway, this is Ozark Patriot. I'm out.